What happens when you walk away from everything you've worked for, everything society tells you is success? I'm going to share with you a story about how I quit my 9-to-5 job to save my mental health, and how that decision changed everything. It was the hardest choice I ever made, but looking back, it was the most empowering decision of my life. If you've ever felt trapped by expectations, or felt like you're not living for yourself anymore, this video is for you. Not long ago, I was living a life that on the outside seemed perfect. I had a steady job, a comfortable paycheck, and what many would call a successful career. But deep down, I felt disconnected, overwhelmed, and exhausted. My story is about how I realized that my mental health was more important than any job title or paycheck. Today, I'm going to share with you how I quit my job to protect my mental well-being, and how that decision ultimately helped me rebuild a life that truly felt like mine.
Let me take you back a little. When I first started my 9-to-5 job, it felt like a dream come true. I was young, ambitious, and excited to prove myself. I worked hard, stayed late, and poured all my energy into my career. In the beginning, everything felt like it was moving forward. But over time, something started to change. I found myself becoming more and more anxious. Every day, I would wake up with a sense of dread. I remember getting out of bed and already feeling a tightness in my chest. My mind would race through the endless tasks I had to complete, and I'd start to feel physically drained before my day even started. But I pushed through it, telling myself that I was just stressed. It's normal, right? But the stress didn't just stay at work. It followed me home. It came with me on weekends. I couldn't relax. The more I ignored it, the worse it got. At night, I couldn't sleep. My thoughts were racing. Did I finish everything? Did I mess up? What if something goes wrong tomorrow? Despite the outward success, I felt empty inside. I felt like I was losing touch with who I really was. I was so focused on being successful, according to other people's standards, that I didn't realize I was neglecting my own happiness and well-being. The breaking point came one day when I was sitting in a meeting. Everything was going as usual, but then it hit me like a wave. My heart started racing, my hands got sweaty, and my breathing became shallow. I couldn't focus on the meeting. I couldn't think. The room felt like it was closing in on me. My chest was tight. My throat felt like it was closing. I excused myself, stepped out of the room, and rushed to the bathroom. It felt like the world was spinning, and I couldn't catch my breath. It wasn't just a bad day at work, it was a panic attack. In that moment, I realized I had been ignoring my body's warning signs for too long. I had been pretending everything was fine, when in reality, I was on the edge of breaking. I sat in that bathroom for a while, trying to calm myself down, and all I could think was, this isn't normal. Something has to change. That moment was the wake-up call I needed. I realized that the anxiety, the stress, and the panic attacks weren't going away. They were just getting worse, and I couldn't keep pretending I was okay. I wish I could say that deciding to quit my job was an easy choice. But it wasn't. I had worked so hard to get where I was. I had people around me who admired my career, and I felt like I was letting everyone down. There was guilt. There was shame. What will people think? How can I leave something so stable? These thoughts haunted me as I tried to make the decision. But the more I thought about it, the clearer it became. I couldn't keep sacrificing my mental health for a job that was slowly destroying me. I remember sitting down with a trusted friend, pouring out my heart, and telling them how I felt. I was terrified to make the decision, but they said something that stayed with me: you don't owe anyone your health. You owe it to yourself to be happy, to be healthy. And that's when I realized that I wasn't choosing between my career and my happiness. I was choosing between a life that drained me and a life that allowed me to heal and live fully. So, I took a deep breath, and I handed in my resignation letter.